So next up we have Taurus and Aquarius. So how would a Taurus and an Aquarius get along? I would think that the Taurus would have somewhat of a grounding nature for an Aquarius if the Aquarius was open to something like that.
Taurians do have a grounding nature. They're very passionate and can be very affectionate and loyal. And I think initially there can be a lot of spark. Mm-hmm. Can find one another very appealing. In the long haul, the needs of an Aquarian are for more adventure and freedom and exploration and nonconformity. Mm-hmm. And part of the Taurian nature is the love of home. Mm-hmm. And the love of security. So this is going to be a struggle. And I think ultimately, in terms of a long-term relationship, that is a hard one to sort out.
I see. Gotcha. And in terms of loyalty, like you mentioned with the Taurus, is that mm-hmm. something that could become a potential issue if the Aquarius doesn't put as much value on something like loyalty?
That can certainly be an issue. I think while that can be a big one in relationships, I think that just the general what do we do with our weekend issue. An Aquarian's going to want to be a lot more social out in the bigger world, and a Taurian is a little bit more oriented towards home and hearth or close-knit groups, and dear friends.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that one's a tough one too.
Finding a balance maybe.
Yeah.
Might be nice. And it sounds like they could balance each other well, but we'll see.
Well, I think there's potential for all sun signs to find a good fit and a way to maximize their gifts and enhance one another synergistically.
Yeah, definitely.
But the natures of this particular Earth sign and air sign do call in lifestyle conflicts.
That's a good way to put it.
Well, here's the first thing that is counterintuitive to the term Aquarian. Sounds like aqua, mm-hmm. water. It's an air sign. It's not a water sign. So first of all, it is much more mental and social in its orientation as opposed to water signs that are more about emotion and intuition and security. So some of the hallmarks of an Aquarian are intellectual pursuits, particularly progressive ones. They're known to be very open to new inventions and new uses of technology for the purpose of connecting humanity and assisting humanity in greater education, greater health, and all things that lift us up.
Okay, so they're good at pioneering new niches within society.
And new is the word. They love new, and they're kind of they're noted also for they're ruled by the planet Uranus, which rules the sudden and unexpected, and the inventive and the progressive.
Like a spontaneous energy?
Yeah,
okay.
So it's revolutionary. It's breaking down old traditions. So they are very non-traditional in their orientation, and make great friends, love discussions, especially when it's about ideas. Mm-hmm. They're very freedom-loving, and can be pretty independent. So those are some of the qualities.
Independent's a good word, because one of the closest Aquarius relationships I've ever had, like very independently natured, but a fun person, like definitely someone who was a pioneer in a lot of ways mm-hmm. with the different things that they would pursue. And just to go over once again for everybody that we're talking about the sun sign, and there are a lot more factors to consider when you're really trying to dive into the nitty gritty of how a person's going to act based on their planetary influences. Okay, and some of those
Completely so.
factors include.
So, well, we're talking about Aquarius as though we're only talking about the sun sign. So the sun sign is important. That's our inner self, our sense of purpose, and the place from which we act to express who it is we really feel we are and our most essential natures. The placement of the moon by sign is incredibly important because the moon rules our emotions, our instincts, our habit patterns, and certainly our security needs. It represents our soul. And then amongst other really important factors is the rising sign. So that has a lot to do with our outlook and how people respond to us. So those are just the beginning, and we're not even addressing the placement of Venus or the placement of Mars, but those are important too. But always the sun, the center of our solar system, is the heart of the chart.
Gotcha.
For each of us. So it's important to talk about that.
The
as well.
heart of the chart. I like that a
Yeah.
lot. And it does make sense considering the sun sign is a big influence. But like we said before, always love yourself first, and then it makes it easier to love everybody else regardless of their sign.
Thank you for reminding us that is absolutely true.
Yep, I like that one a lot. And thank you. Good
Thank you. This has been
information
fun
as
today.
usual. Yeah, it's been very fun.
Yeah.
Good times.
Cheers.
Cheers.